Hi, today we're in South Africa. We're visiting Robben Island. The most famous prisoner there, I think we all know, was Nelson Mandela. He spent 18 years. We get the ferry across from Capetown, near the V&A wharf. It takes about 40 minutes. I won't do any more talking, as the guide that was with us, he was wonderful. We were lucky enough that we ended up on a small bus and not one of the big ones, which is overcrowded and you do lose that personal touch.
Island here divided into two phases. So we are going for sightseeing first. Going to drive you around the island, and we will come across his son. So this is the prison on the right hand side. I will be taking you to the prison, and then the tour in the prison will be conducted by a former political prisoner. And by the way, the prison was built the Lapa graveyard, so the period would have been between the mid-1840s.
As we come up to the quarry, this is where the political prisoners were forced to work. The cave in the wall is where they used to use the bathroom, but also pass messages on to each other, and as well as learning what was going on around them.
They felt like they didn't want to, that was good enough, and then they would not approve them. So the two buses are still there. We'll come back to the site a little bit later. So we had a prisoner on the island here who was kept in one of those houses. So he was not kept in the prison shepherd. This is the only building that we still have on the island that was used by people who had leprosy. So in 1931, all the buildings that we had on the island that were used by people who had maximum security prison. But then obviously the more prisoners you bring to the island, overcrowding. So to ease the overcrowding, the medium B was then built. And then murderers and rapists, they were transferred from the maximum security prison into the medium B. So political prisoners, in the eyes of the ruling party, they were not political prisoners. Need any of these things, you must take the boat to Cape Town. So as we're coming out of COVID, one boat running a day, the kids could not get to school. So they decided then to leave the island, and most of them have not come back since. Yes, people have escaped, but this would have been from the 16th to the 1800s. The 1900s, the island was very prisoner on the island. And in 1659, Ochomato escaped. So what he did, he made himself a rowing boat, and then he went to the town across Robben. During the Second World War, a radio communication station. Today we have the cafeteria and were used to patrol the island. Others, if a prisoner refuses to work or does not, if you are sergeant, a sergeant. So the same system applied on the island. Bigger than the cells. What would you say that? Definitely bigger than the cells. Now, so this would be the size of my own units here. These are four buildings here. So let's take it down. First, I can see the size.
As you enter the main building, your guide is an ex-prisoner who's in his late 70s and who has a great narrative of all the hard dealings that these political prisoners had while they were incarcerated here on Robben Island. Hard to imagine what life would have been like for them, and our guide did try to give us a sense of what it was like. I don't think you can ever fully appreciate what they went through, as we do live in such a comfortable world today, even with all its problems. These are the cells where the most radical, as they were called, were held. And as we come here, we see Nelson Mandela's cell and our guide. It was a privilege to come here and see all this today, and I hope you enjoy the videos. As you exit the building, you go through a yard and back to the ferry that will take you back to Cape Town. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for coming and watching my videos. Stay tuned for more.